Hello, this is Coach Queen Precious. I wanted to get on more than 2 or 3 minutes. I wanted to talk to those that are in a relationship that you say you love your king or your queen. If you're married, dating, engaged. I read a statistic that said 15 to about 20% of our relationships are affecting our children in a specific way. Their behaviors, the way they respond and interact with adults and children, and etc. It was a whole lot of stuff that was on there. After a while, I just stopped looking at it. And it was sad. It was very sad. A lot of times couples tell me, or individually or together, that their relationship does not affect their children. You would be surprised. And for those of you that don't know, I work with children in the school setting. And it affects them more than you realize. I've dealt with children that it affects their grades, their interaction with other children, the way that their behavior, and all of that. And I know it to be true for myself. I'm going to be transparent in the moment because I really need you all to hear me when I say this. I need you to hear me. If you don't want to better your relationship because you feel that you're worth it, you feel that your king or queen is worth it, do it for your children. Do it for your children. You're already married. You're already in the relationship, especially if they consider them to be a parent of some, stepdad, stepmom, whatever the case may be. I know personally, when my late husband was alive, we went through some challenges. We went through a whole lot of challenges at the beginning. So much to the point that when my last child was born, he had behavior issues, serious behavior issues. And a lot of people don't know this. So I'm going to share, okay? But I share it as a testimony. I share it as, to others on a different level when I'm talking to them. But I want to share it in this moment. A lot of times they say, because he's special needs, like I said. So they will say he was born deaf, okay? And they say, well, the behavior problem came from, or was coming from, the communication aspect of it. Okay, I can receive that to a certain point. But we were a Christian, Bible-believing family, okay? So we believed in praying and fasting and decreeing and declaring the word of God and all of those things, okay? I'm a PK. My parents were preachers, okay, pastors, okay? But yet I was having challenges with my child, because me and his father were having serious challenges, to say the least, in our marriage. Okay? Now, this is the first time I'm sharing this, so work with me here, okay? It wasn't good. We would argue in front of our children. We would fuss, and it wasn't a pleasant situation, okay? So when they say that affects your relationship, affects your relationship affects your children, I believe that. My other 2 children had their challenges, but it wasn't as severe as my last one, But as we began to do some things, to spend time together, to talk, fight for the marriage, we begin to see things change. Okay? But let me go back a little bit. There's a lot of people that don't know this, okay? my family didn't even know it until I was sharing with them. We lived in a state one time. We had moved out of the state where we're living, and we moved to another state for a while. And my youngest child got kicked out of some of the best schools in the state because of his behavior. And I was like, wow. I'm like, he was blessed to go here, but then he got kicked out. I'm like, what's going on? And then I began to think, okay, the relationship is taking a toll on him because he was extremely close with his dad. He didn't like seeing us talking to each other, yelling and screaming, saying hurtful things to each other. Even if he did not understand it, he knew the vibe and the things that were coming from us that he did not like. So, but as we began to pray in our marriage, as we began to use some different things that I will be glad to share with you if you have some of these challenges in your marriage as well, or even close to it. When we began to add these things to our marriage, I saw my child, our child, begin to change and get better. Now he's in a school that they love him. They said, you know, they want to take the behavior part off of his IEP. You know, he's going to be 16 in August now. And they just love him. They love him. They say he's respectful, very mannerable, all the, you know, things that I was hoping and praying that it would end up happening in and through him. And even the schools that he's come from, they see the changes. And I tell them some of the other changes, and they're like, who? Him? It was like, wow, that's wonderful. Or they say, we've been hearing how great he's been doing. So I know relationship. Sorry, my thing fell. I'm at the beach. It's hot in here. I know in relationship, it's challenging for children. It's challenging. Okay? It's hurtful. It does so many different things to them. Okay? So if you don't want to fight or believe that you deserve better in your marriage or your relationship with your king or your queen, and even if your children are watching or not, they can sense when you're happy and when you're not. Because I remember my youngest would come and say, Mommy, you okay? After we finish arguing. I'm like, wow. And he was young. He was like, oh boy, I want to say maybe 9, maybe somewhere. So I wanted to share this because I want you to know that there are tools out there to help you. There are things that you can do to better your relationship for yourself, for your king or your queen, but most of all for your children, because they're going to implement, they're going to live out what they've learned watching you and your king or your queen. So why not get it together now? Why would you want to stay in a relationship where you're miserable, where you're talking negative to each other every day? Why? When there are simple things that you can do and that you can turn around. Believe it or not, you can turn it around in 24 hours. You can start the process in 24 hours where both of you see the change. So why not? So if you need to know what these things are, these tools that you can use, I'm going to leave a link down below to the side or wherever it's going to be. Just look for the link. Click on it. Get with me. Let's have a conversation. If you treasure your marriage, your relationship enough, I suggest that you work on it. But get the right help that you need. Even if you don't get it from me, get it from someone that's going to help you change and bless your relationship that you're in, that will bless the life of your children. You owe it to your children if no one else. But even if you don't have children, why would you stay in a loveless marriage? Why would you stay in a marriage or a relationship that is miserable when you can make the change today? let me help you or find the help that you need. You'll be so glad that you did. Makes no difference how long you've been married. It doesn't make any difference how bad it is. I promise you, let me help you. Find the help, even if you don't want to use me, but find the help and make a difference in your relationship. I love you. This is Coach Queen Precious. Have an amazing day. You know I will. Let me show you where I'm at. Let me see if I can turn my camera around. Is that going to work? Let me see. I guess I can't turn my camera around. Sorry. But well, maybe turn my phone like this. Isn't it not beautiful? Oh, my Lord. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful. Again, if you like the messages that I've been sending and you need some help, let me know. Go ahead and like, subscribe, like it, send it to someone that you know that might be having some challenges or that you know are having challenges, so it can be a blessing to them. I love you. Have an amazing day. Later.